हेलो चिल्ड्रन एंड वेलकम टू टुडेज सेशन। आपने कभी नोट किया है कि जो आपका स्पेक्स केस होता है दैट इज फोल्डिंग, बिना किसी बटन के उसके दो एंड्स एकदम से चिपक कैसे जाते हैं? फ्रिज का डोर खोलते ही वो बंद कैसे हो जाता है? सिमिलरली मॉडर्न कबर्ड्स के अंदर व्हेन यू लीव द डोर इट स्टिक्स टू द एंड टू क्लोज इट। ये सब चीज़ें अपने आप ऑटोमेटिक कैसे होती हैं? These are actually the functions of magnets, and I am sure you have played with magnets at some point or the other, whether it is your geometry box or whether it is a fridge magnets. उनको फ्रिज के पास ले जाते ही उनकी अट्रैक्शन स्ट्रॉन्ग हो जाती है और ऐसे लगता है मैग्नेट हमारा हाथ छोड़ के फ्रिज की तरफ भागने की कोशिश कर रहा है। दिस इज ऑल कॉल्ड मैग्नेटिज्म। मैग्नेटिज्म मतलब एक मैग्नेट की पावर टू अट्रैक्ट। So in this chapter we are going to learn about magnets and their properties. But before that, do you know how the magnets were discovered? बहुत पुराने टाइम में इजिप्ट में माना जाता है कि एक गडरिया यानी कि एक शेपर्ड जब शीप लेके ग्रेज करवा रहा था तो उसके स्टिक कहीं किसी जगह पर जाकर स्टिक होनी शुरू हो गई। This was because one tip of his stick was iron. He realized that there was a mineral on the ground which was attracting his iron stick, and from there this mineral called magnetite was discovered. Let us now understand the different shapes of the magnets. As you can see in this picture, magnets can be of many shapes. Magnets can be bar magnets, they can be horseshoe type or U-shaped magnets, and they can be rod magnets. All the magnets have got one characteristic in common. All these magnets will attract magnetic substances. Do you remember last class में हमने insulators और conductors के बारे में पढ़ा था? Similarly, there are substances which are magnetic and which are non-magnetic. Magnetic substances कौन से होंगे? Which will get attracted to a magnet, and non-magnetic substances कौन से होंगे which will not get attracted to a magnet. Now let us understand certain properties of a magnet. The most important properties of a magnet is the magnetic poles. Let us understand with the help of this short video. All magnets have got two poles or two ends. Now these two poles are known as the North Pole and the South Pole. Now how do you find the poles of a magnet? It is interesting to note that the poles of a magnet always point to the north and south direction of the earth. So in case you have been given magnets on which the poles have not been marked, you can very easily find the poles of the magnet. All you have to do is take an apparatus where you can suspend the magnet freely. You will see that the magnet will come to a halt such that the directions of the magnet will be pointing to the north and south direction of the earth. This is the way you can find out which are the poles of a magnet. So next time you get a magnet on which the poles are marked as X, you can very easily find out which side is which pole. In the next activity, we are going to find out the attraction in the magnets. The attraction in the magnets are the strongest on the two poles, the north and the south pole. ये कैसे prove करेंगे? हम लेंगे एक blank sheet of paper जिसके ऊपर हम डालेंगे iron filings. When we will roll the magnet over these iron filings, we will find that most of the iron filings will be attracted towards these poles. So all magnets have north pole and south pole. Even if you break a magnet, the broken pieces will also have the north and the south pole. That means these poles cannot be separated. In another activity, we are going to find out about the attraction and repulsion between two magnets. कोई भी टू मैग्नेट्स के अंदर ऐसी क्या चीज़ होती है जो उनको अट्रैक्ट करती है या उनको रिपेल करती है? इन दिस एक्सपेरिमेंट हम दो मैग्नेट्स की नॉर्थ पोल को उनके साथ ला रहे हैं, एंड एज वी कैन सी दे आर नॉट अट्रैक्टिंग ईच अदर, दे आर repelling each other. अगर हम उल्टा कर दें, नॉर्थ पोल को साउथ पोल के पास लाएं, we will see that they are attracting each other. Now this property proves that like poles repel each other and unlike poles attract each other. Now, can you make an artificial magnet? This is what we are going to learn in the next session. So, the first method of making an artificial magnet is known as a single touch method. Single touch method के अंदर किसी भी ऑब्जेक्ट को, जैसे कि एक नीडल को या एक आयरन नेल को, अगर एक डायरेक्शन में मैग्नेट के साथ रब किया जाए, दैट ऑब्जेक्ट बिकम्स मैग्नेटिक फॉर अ वेरी ब्रीफ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. In the next kind of method, which is known as a single touch method with 3 magnets, एक आयरन नेल को 2 बार मैग्नेट्स के ऊपर रख दिया जाता है और उसको एक थर्ड मैग्नेट से रब किया जाता है in one direction. If you rub it for about 30 times, you can magnetize the iron piece. The third method of magnetizing a non-magnetic object is called divided touch method, in which 4 magnets are used, as you can see in the image. So the iron piece is placed on 2 different bar magnets and it is rubbed in 2 different directions with 2 different magnets with opposite poles facing each other. It is very, very important to understand here that magnets are also a natural resource because they are obtained from a mineral called magnetite. So how do you take care of the magnets? So the first thing is that you should not carelessly knock around magnets. They lose their magnetic property. Beating or hammering or heating in an oven or over a flame can also lead to the magnet to lose its magnetic properties. Magnets are used primarily by sailors and travelers. A magnet fixed in a compass tells us the north and south direction. अगर आपको याद हो तो ज्योग्राफी में आपने मैप्स के बारे में पढ़ा है. मैप्स में हमेशा नॉर्थ ऊपर और साउथ नीचे होता है. सपोज यू आर लॉस्ट इन सम प्लेस. You need to find the north direction and the south direction to understand कि मैप के ऊपर आपको कहाँ जाना है. This is also important for sailors because sailors sea के अंदर होते हैं. There are no roadways, there are no maps to understand where they have to go. So a compass becomes a very important instrument for them to guide their way. So in this chapter, we have learned about the different properties of magnets. We have also learned about the properties of the 2 poles and how they cannot be separated. We have learned about how we can take care of magnets. Thank you.